Hey friends and soon-to-be friends, since tomorrow is Valentine's Day, I figured I'd make some Valentine's Day treats with you all. Now I'm again doing the easy, medium, and hard, in my own opinion, just based on reading the ingredients, how many steps there are. And I also did not go for any just chocolate dip covered strawberries. I know that's a really basic and common dessert during Valentine's Day where everyone just dips strawberries. I didn't even want to deal with strawberries. Strawberries are usually out of stock and heavily priced during this time of year because of Valentine's Day, and I'm boycotting the strawberries right now. And as usual, I am going to try to use as natural and healthy, better for you type ingredients as I can. My love is gluten intolerant. My mother-in-law is lactose intolerant. So we're just gonna try to combine all the different dietary restrictions into one and see how these recipes hold up. So grab those aprons, grab those snacks, grab those drinks, and let's check out some Valentine's Day treats. We are gonna make a pull apart heart. Now, I thought this was pretty easy because the ingredients list is really small, the instructions are really small. It's just my ability of rolling these into two identical heart-shaped sizes, which can be kind of challenging for me. On a lightly floured surface, roll out one can to a 12 by 10 rectangle. Repeat with remaining can of dough using a paring knife, cut out a heart shape. Oh. I'm not rolling it into a heart shape, I just roll it out and cut it into a heart shape. Now that's even easier. All right, let's do this. I just realized though, I don't have any flat baking sheets, so this heart's gonna have to be the size of this for it to be able to fit onto something and then bake in the oven. I didn't think that one through. See, normal baking video with me. I try to plan ahead and I just don't plan well enough. Okay. Oh. Okay, just rolling it. Maybe I should have powdered the rolling pin too. Oh, that makes it better. Okay. I don't know the last time I ever used a rolling pin. I own one. Can't remember why I own one. I think I used it to like crush nuts, I think, when I needed to like sprinkle them on top of something. But I don't know if I've ever actually used it to roll things. This is really springy dough. I like spread it and it comes back together. And I did buy a third can just in case I ran into any issues. And I might have to use it because these are the tiniest little heart pieces I'm ever gonna get. That, I mean, they're gonna fit on that pan, that's for sure. But I didn't think they were gonna be this small. I don't know, you guys, maybe it is supposed to just be like a very thin layer of pastries. Again, I didn't watch any videos, so I don't know. But to get a heart shape on that, oh my God, it just like won't spread. Do I just not know how to use a rolling pin? I'm like heavy breathing at this point. Because like this dough just springs back to its original shape. It is really hard to get it to roll out. Like that, this is gonna be the tiniest little piece ever. I don't think this is supposed to be this size. We are gonna cut out a heart now. It is so hard to like cut through this as well. Holy cow. This is so nerve-wracking having to just freehand cut. This dough is so stretchy. I don't work with doughs enough to know if this is normal or not, but it is just, it's hard to cut. And I have very sharp knives. It just wants to stay attached to each other. And I've used this brand before, but I've used like their biscuits instead. And since the bottom wouldn't detach from the top, it stretched it out a little bit, so the bottom layer is a little more stretched than the top layer. But we have what looks like a heart. This is gonna be such a tiny pastry. I have all this excess I guess I can't use. Oh, I don't know, you guys. It's a heart. Oh. I don't know. I just need it to stretch and stay like that. This is strange. All right, since my hearts are small enough, I'm going to just place that off to the side. And now the fun part of just putting Nutella on, I am doing a chocolate hazelnut spread with avocado oil. I've used this brand before. The avocado oil first like scared me to try it, but it just means it's like more oily or separated. So you just have to make sure you mix it around before use, but it tastes great to me. I don't think there's much of a taste difference between that and Nutella. So this might have been too much because they wanted I think it's at a 1/2-inch border around the whole edge. This thing's getting smaller and smaller as we speak. It's okay. I'm making 3 desserts. We don't need that many desserts, so if this one's smaller than it's supposed to be, perfect. We'll get through it a lot quicker. All right, then I just put the other one on top of this one. Something like that. Now I wish I had found a smaller one, but it wants me to cut, not all the way through, but just to indent it, which with how springy this is, I don't know if I'm indenting it. It's staying, okay. And then with my paring knife, I need to just cut pieces, oh gosh, this is gonna be a nightmare, towards the center, but not cutting the heart. These are gonna be the tiniest little strips ever. That is too funny. Okay, I have cut all the way around the heart, possibly not, because everything just keeps springing back to itself. So now you take each strand, yeah, that's gonna be, and you rip it from each other, and you just twist it without ripping it off. If your tendrils are long enough to twist. Oh, that is so funny. Yeah. It just wants to spring back into place. So let's, it's okay. It's only the first one. It means it can only get better from here, right? And as I thought, my heart indentation went away. So them breaking apart wasn't even my worry. It's them wanting to twist. Like they just go back to their original shape. It is quite impressive. It's a very resilient batter or canister. They definitely did something different than me because they said your little tendril stuff, you'll have about 24 total. And I'm pretty sure I just counted 12. Sorry, 17, that was way off. I have 17, they say about 24. But now we just cook it for about 12 minutes, probably less because I think mine is smaller, and we'll see how that turns out. Oh my. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, I don't have that, so squishy. I don't know if that's cooked through. Anyways, I don't have that many plates and it's fit perfectly onto the small one, so I thought I'd just stick it on that. Well, it's small enough to be placed onto the smallest plate I have. It lost its heart shape. I barely can even see the indented heart shape. Oh man, it's something. That's for sure. But I mean, we're just we're just gonna move right along. So for the little drizzle that's on top, you're supposed to use raspberry jam, milk, and sugar. Okay, so I did add my natural food coloring to this, which just makes it's supposed to be a light pink, but I didn't want artificial like colors in any of this stuff. So the natural color ones I had was just red, and well, I didn't know how to make it any lighter. I was hoping the sugar would make it lighter, so we have now more like a purple-ish red hue. And we're just supposed to... This is not the consistency enough to do the little drip thing. I think because of the type of jam I use, it is way too thick, so it's just... Sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself, you know? If you don't, who will? Has anyone watched Nailed It? Because I feel like the photo of mine versus the photo of like what it was supposed to be like. That is so funny. So we're just gonna give it a try, right? It's supposed to be a pull apart. It is pulling apart. Now, is the dough fully cooked? Possibly. I'm a little worried about the center part because it is super squishy. There's a lot of flour on here. It tastes like flour and not cooked dough. So, idea was fun. The edges are definitely crispy. Like, they have a nice brown to them. It's this center part though. Like, I don't think I can feed this to anyone, but I'm gonna try. I do have my mother-in-law and aunt-in-law coming over later. We'll see if they want to try this. So I will save that. This, I would not try again. I'm sure the recipe is great. Again, since I'm using more natural, like I say healthier, better products. I don't really know the brands that they're using to make theirs, but it turned out nothing like it. And I felt I followed the instructions very well. So let's see what the next one has in store for us. So for the medium recipe, we are making some stuffed red velvet cookies. Now, I counted this as a medium recipe and not the hard one simply because, well, you'll see why with the hard one. But this one has still a lot of steps. It also had the longest wait times in between. I think I have to like freeze this for an hour and a half and something else has to sit for 25 minutes. So it's gonna take the longest. But first step is just to get the filling. I already, again, pre-measured my stuff, put them in bowls. We'll talk about those in a second. But step one is making the filling in a small bowl using a fork or pastry blender. I don't know what a pastry blender is. So we're off to a good start. Combine cream cheese with confection sugar. Oh, I'm gonna need a bigger bowl than this. What am I thinking? Our cream cheese with our confectioner sugar, flour, salt, and vanilla until just incorporated. Then freeze until firm enough to roll into balls, 10 to 15 minutes. When firm, roll into teaspoon-sized balls and place on parchment-lined paper and then freeze until solid. So we're just making it cold and then freezing them. I'm not quite sure why those are two separate things, why I can't just roll them into balls and then freeze them from the get-go, but I will follow their instructions. And in case anyone was wondering what ingredients I am using, I put them on the counter in case you're wondering what is actually going into this. Since I did all my prep work off screen, I've been doing this since like 6 a.m. until just incorporated. This is gonna take me a hot second. Hold on, because it didn't say they wanted room temperature cream cheese. So I just took it straight from the fridge. Usually they let you know, so it's what we're working with. I have no clue what just incorporated is because this looks like chunky balls of like dough. So I don't know if I'm now supposed to I gotta put gloves on. Maybe I will form this into one big ball, put it in the fridge for 10 to 15 minutes and then make smaller balls out of that ball. I didn't watch any of the videos for these recipes. I chose not to because I'm like, I should just be able to read the instructions and be fine. So if I do something that they don't do, if you guys do follow along with the recipe, because I do like to post them down below in the comments, and you do something different than me, it's just because I did not watch the videos. It really does feel like I'm just kneading dough. It doesn't feel like not sour cream, cream cheese. Oh my gosh, if I accidentally made this with sour cream. We have a ball. I'm gonna put said ball into the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, we're gonna move on to, I'm pretty sure this was the making the dough part or beginning of it. So this has the flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, and salt, and they just want me to whisk it together. I haven't whisked it. I totally forgot my whisk broke in my last baking video, so I will fork it instead. It works pretty much the same. We just gently combining them. I think trying to get out like as much clumps, but it doesn't have to be like as important to get out the clumps. So this next part has the sugars in it. Oop, I almost lost my sugars. And I need to add butter and vanilla to this. They want me to use like basically a KitchenAid. I don't have one of those, so I'm gonna use my hand mixer. And we just mix this on medium for 3 minutes, scraping down the bowl as necessary. Then we're beating the egg and the food coloring. That's right, this one does have food coloring for it. So I have used these in my past baking videos. I think it was for my Halloween treat ones. And I think the color actually turned out great. These are like a no artificial dyes one. I really like this. It actually is the only brand I can find for real dyes, since it has no added coloring or junk to them. Well, I don't really know. They at least don't have artificial dyes. And that's what I was looking for, trying to be as natural as possible. Oh, I think I creamed it till I couldn't do it anymore. So now we need to beat in the egg and food coloring. If I remember right, the food coloring, because it's more natural, you have to add like a lot more drops to make it show. And I'm pretty sure the packaging also said the food coloring shows the best if a whole egg is added, which we were adding an entire egg. I should have worn gloves. Okay, guess we gotta do that again. Oh, my arms are feeling it today. I feel like it turned kind of purplish. Maybe a light pinkish? Maybe I should add more? Do that, and I think I'll incorporate it with a spatula this time. My Valentine's Day spatula, I almost forgot to use it. You know, I was just thinking about how like small this batter was, and I totally forgot I had another bowl next to me. Okay. We'll get back to that in just a second because my alarm did go off for my cream cheese balls. They again wanted this lined with parchment paper. I say they again, like baking recipes. I was gifted this Amazon's basic mat thing. I think you can bake with it, but it's supposed to be anti-stick, so I think I'm gonna give that a try. Pretty sure we just make these into balls and then freeze them. Teaspoon size balls. Give this a try. They're just little baby balls. I guess that makes sense because it's supposed to be like the center part. We have made 21 shaped balls. Now we just gotta put them into the freezer, wait an hour and like a half or something, and then we can continue. In the meantime, back to this. I guess I'm supposed to incorporate this until mixed or something. Gradually add flour mixture and mix until just incorporated. Scrape it down a bowl. Then refrigerate until slightly firm, 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, just put a little bit in, mix it around, and put a little bit more in. I don't think I need the hand mixer to do this. The dough is just too strong. It is now just a wand. So I'll be honest, it has now lost its red color and it just looks like a chocolatey brown, which I'm assuming that's from the cacao powder. So I mean, it's not bad, but I guess since it was a natural food coloring, it's not gonna be able to overtake the other colors that are being combined in here. So we have this for right now. It needs to go into the fridge. Oh, I never set an alarm for my balls. Ah, jeez. All right, the next step, now that these have thoroughly frozen, hour and a half-ish, a little bit longer, and definitely a little bit longer than I meant to. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about this one. And then I was like, oh, don't I have something in the freezer? So they want us to take a bit of this, roll it into a ball, make a thumbprint indentation to stick other balls into this ball, and then pinch and pull around. So easy enough. We're just trying to hide this cream cheese center. I mean, does that look red to you, you guys? It doesn't look red to me, but we tried. You saw me add the food coloring. I added quite a bit too. So I'm just gonna go through and do all of these. I think I'm gonna have to break them into 2 batches since they do ask for 2 inches of space. So here are all my balls. I am going to split this definitely in half because they're quite big. There's some little ones, some big ones. So we shall see how that all turns out. Oh, just kidding. They want me to place it back into the refrigerator for at least 10 minutes. I froze these for a really long time, you guys, the dough and the inside. So I think I'm just gonna skip that part. So now I'm supposed to roll it in sugar, more sugar, because this is what it was missing actually. It didn't have enough sugar in it. We're going to cook it for 12 minutes, flipping the pan halfway through, and then see what these look like. So I'll be back when these are baked. All right, we have our, I already forgot the name of these. Our stuffed red velvet cookies. Again, they don't look like the picture. I love that. I had changed tactics in the middle of it. These are the ones where I used that Amazon like baking sheet thing that I was gifted. I am very appreciative I was gifted it, but every time like you had to rotate these halfway through and I would open the oven, it like, I don't know if you can call it smoke, steam, there was something coming out of there and it didn't smell very pleasant. So I was worried that I was like, oh, is this not supposed to be used in the oven? I double checked it, it says it is. So these are the ones baked on that. I don't know about you guys, but if I see something smoking in my oven that's not supposed to be smoking, it makes me think it's burning or that I'm gonna get like a plasticky taste with it. So then I swapped and I just put a little bit of pan oil onto the baking sheet and then I baked these ones. So I'm gonna try both to see if that was just my own fear taking over and it's fine, or if these have a weird taste and these are fine. It said to bake them until the edges were firm. The edges don't firm up until they cool down. So let's taste test. So we'll first do this one. They smell like chocolate. Well, it's not that they're bad per se. Do any of you like Pizookies? Because that's what this reminds me of. I personally like to have my cookie baked all the way through. And I don't think it's not baked, but because of that center, it makes me think that it's not baked. But at least it doesn't taste burnt. Like I was really worried that was gonna taste like complete crap. So at least try these ones. These ones are a little bit warmer. And I think because of the baking spray, they do have a slight like burnt edge around them. Ooh, that broke apart really easily. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. Like, does this look like it's not cooked all the way, or is that looking okay to you? Because I'm not used to It almost reminds me of like the no-bake cookies, and I'm not used to eating those types, but even the cream cheese doesn't seem as melty as I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I don't think it's a good mixture. Like, they are not overly sweet, which is nice. I do like that. They seem a bit airy, slightly on the cakey side because of the batter. Like the cream cheese gives it the moisture, which is great. But the outside isn't so good. I don't think I would make this one again, which is a shame. It's not bad. It's just not the texture, consistency, flavors that I'm enjoying. But definitely could just be me. That's just me baking. I don't seem to do it right. We have made it to the final dessert. So for this hard one, I have decided to try my hands at macarons. Macarons? I think macarons are something different. I think it's pronounced macaron. Who's to say? Maybe I'll know by the end of this video once I actually make one. So I'm making chocolate macarons with a chocolate ganache in the middle of it. I just need to say things incorrectly with confidence. So I did this prep work off screen because it was the longest prep work ever. That's why my arms are killing me through the making of this video. I had to sift, and if you remember from my last video, I don't own a sifter. I still don't own a sifter, but I will now invest in a sifter. I had to sift the almond flour, powdered sugar, and cacao powder with this thing, using a spoon. Near the end, my hands just couldn't do it anymore, so I did have to elicit the help of my love. He helped me finish up the cacao powder and a little bit of the powdered sugar. But this was my gym day today, was just sifting all this. But with that being sifted, I now need to add the egg whites, which they asked for aged egg whites. I have never aged egg whites in my life, but apparently you just put them into your measurement cup, cover it with plastic wrap, poke a few holes, leave it in the fridge for 24 hours. Now you got aged egg whites. You're welcome. We're gonna also gently unwrap this and beat this for 30 seconds, I think, until foamy. I'm just prepping ahead because it says before or after I beat it for 30 seconds, I need to add cream of tartar, and it asks for 1/8. Is that true? 1/8 of a teaspoon? Why even bother at that point? We got our cream of tartar for another 30 seconds. In the midst of doing this video, I actually have lost my half cup measuring. And it's not like this kitchen's that big, so I will do 1/4 at a time, but I guess a tablespoon of the 1/4 math. I gotta just remember how much I'm putting in and into what. I need 2 of the, or I'll just scoop them. No math, we'll just scoop and deal with it after. And now I just take tablespoons from that one. I'm gonna be honest, you guys, I skip the gym on the days that I do baking simply because it is so much of an upper body workout for me. Once all sugar has been added, add vanilla extract and salt. Continue to beat on medium to medium high until mixture reaches thick, fluffy, stiff peaks, which I'm pretty sure that's like when you take it and yeah, that's not stiff peaks. All right. Vanilla extract and sugar. So I don't know how long that's gonna take, but we'll see. Wait, is the stiff peaks on this or stiff peaks in there? Wait, I've heard of stiff peaks, just don't know where they're supposed to be. Oh, yeah, so, wait, I think? Maybe a little more. So I think I formed stiff peaks. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Add approximately 1/3 of the cacao powder mixture. Do they mean this? They must mean this, right? To the meringue using a spatula to fold until combined. Repeat with the next third of the mixture, then the last. Well, since I no longer have my Valentine's Day spatula, I will have to go with good old trusty here. And we're going to put 1/3, because I know math. And then we're just, I feel like this is a very important part, so that way you don't like destroy your meringue, but I'm also like super scared that I'm gonna destroy it. It says just scrape down the sides until incorporated and then do that with the other part. Do it. We'll add the other third. Whoop. Oop, okay, that was definitely way more than a third. I already messed it up. I don't know if this is incorporating with each other. I'm getting like some really thick dough now. I guess it also doesn't help when you don't watch the video, so you don't know what the consistency is supposed to look like. But as of right now, I'm getting thick dough pieces. And I don't think it's supposed to be like a thick dough. And then it said something about like you should just barely be able to make it like a figure 8. Continue to fold until the batter flows smoothly and falls from the spatula in a smooth ribbon. Oh, something went wrong. You should be able to just barely make a figure 8 with the batter. Okay, where'd I go wrong? It says even like smush it against the side to help it deflate. I'm getting like cookie dough batter in this thing. You gotta be kidding. I already messed up. I just reread all the instructions and I have all the measurements. I have all the steps. This is the one, again, that took the longest because of all the sifting. And I'm just getting a straight up dough ball. I don't think no amount of me working this is gonna make this into a smooth ribbon. All the experts out there, tell me what I did wrong. Remember how I said it can only get better from here? I lied. So you're supposed to put this you're supposed to put this batter into a piping bag and pipe it out. Yeah, that is not happening. So we are going to just make little balls out of it. At this point, we're making something. It's definitely not going to be any macarons or anything, but it's going to be something. So I'm going to just make my own little dough-shaped stuff because I know this is going to be the tops and the bottoms. So we'll just make cute little patties that they're going to go on. And we're gonna see what we get. So I still have all of this batter left. I'm just gonna do one big pan because I don't know what this would be turning into. Maybe I'll make one big giant cookie out of this one just to see if it if it will taste good or not. This kind of honestly reminds me of the batter for the last cookie said, the red velvet one. So then it says to let these sit until like some film forms on the top of them. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. So they're gonna go into the oven. And while those are baking, now we make the chocolate ganache. So we gotta get our chocolate into a heat-proof bowl. I mean, possibly? Because I know I'm just pouring heavy cream, like heated heavy cream into here. So we got our dairy-free chocolate chips. Oh, they're so tiny and cute. I never realized how just miniature they are. And I will just preference, I am using dairy-free alternative. So even this one is a heavy cream alternative. So we'll see how this turns out. It's just been an adventure all today. Well, it's steaming, boiling, so it's going over. And then it says to cover it and let it be undisturbed. There is a hole in my aluminum foil and I'm having, today's just not my day with baking. Should have been a sign. I should have just saved it for a different day. 5 minutes. And the timer already went off for me to flip them, so now they're the shells at least, so now they are baking some more. All right, the 5 minutes has passed. That was uneventful. And now we need to whisk it until smooth, then add the butter and salt. Oh, and more vanilla extract. There might be like a smidgen or a drop. I didn't think I was gonna need any more. I'm using so much vanilla extract, but it's not making anything taste sweet yet. Oh my gosh, this is so watery. Is that what it's supposed to be like? Can't even see it because it's so watery, it's gonna tip right over. But the chocolate and the cream does not want to mix, like oil and water right now. Oh, there we go, they're incorporating now. You just gotta really put some arm muscle into it. So let's see how much vanilla extract is left. Yeah, a baby smidgen. We need the butter in there, which they didn't ask for room temperature butter. This is straight from the fridge, so I have no clue. As you can see how difficult it is to get out of its wrapper. Go. Go butter, be one with the chocolate. And they said a heaping 1/8 tablespoon of salt. It's already heaping. I mean, why make it 1/8 then? Just make it a little bit bigger. Stir this all together. Then we're gonna allow chocolate to sit at room temperature until firm, then transfer to a piping bag. I did pull out my macaron shells. They look like miniature cookies. I don't know if they need to be baked for longer. I'm letting them cool for a little bit because it is just like the same consistency as our last cookie where they're still soft coming out, and I'm hoping they will harden as they're just sitting here. But with this ganache, I don't know. I don't have any piping bags. On this website, it says equipment that I will be needing. Yeah, recommended equipment, mixing bowls and baking sheets. Nowhere does it say piping bags or anything like that. So I don't feel like that is a common thing in a household, like just having piping bags and tips for it. But who knows? Maybe it's just me. I don't bake too often. They turned slightly into hockey pucks. Oh my gosh. Oh, they have some give to them though. They don't taste terrible, but they do have that, it's almost like a creamy consistency, like cookie, but that was weird. And I just created a new thing. So they wanted this to get to room temperature. So I put it in the fridge and it's rather cold, but isn't ganache supposed to be thicker? I feel like my batter for the macaron shells is the consistency of what this is supposed to be. My consistency of my ganache is what my macaron shells are supposed to be. This is no longer room temperature. Tastes great, but this is cold. It's not like freezing, but it's not room temperature. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, all I know is I'm breaking these now. It's so hard to get off. Okay, we can't save them all. That's fine. We'll try to save who we can save and make our own types of macarons. They're trying to escape now. At this point, I just have to commit, you know? It was doomed from the beginning, and that's okay, because it's just my type of baking. So I'm going to scoop this ganache onto that. I should be wearing gloves. I need to go put gloves on. And because it is so melty, it is sliding right off the thing. SOS, I need training. All right, let's get into it. This is just gonna be like a giant hot mess. Oop. Of them all just sliding off of each other. Maybe I can use each other to like hold up the other one. This is a lot of ganache. All right, I'm leaving one glove on so I can taste test this because this is gonna get so messy. So this is so hilarious to me. I expected things to go wrong. I just didn't expect them to go this wrong. So let's taste test this macaron. The chocolate's great. My shells are crispy, that's nice. It still has this like weird, like cooling effect, like creamy. Like maybe I added too much butter. And that's how it feels, like biting into this. It just feels like a lot of like, or maybe sugar, like cream sugar. Maybe I didn't follow the measurements right. Maybe I added too much sugar. But it's something. I created something. My laugh is going to be when I feed this to my family members and I ask them, just looking at this, do they know what this is? Can they guess that it's a macaron? Alrighty, my friends, that has been 3 Valentine's Day bakes. I didn't even show you the giant cookie that I had made, simply because I can't get it off of, it's soft on the center, but hard on the outside. I can't get it off this, so it now lives there. I would love to retry these recipes with like a second person in the kitchen, because maybe it's just me like just not reading something, skipping instructions. I have no clue, but from easy, medium, and hard recipes, like at this point with my execution, I feel like they were all hard. Fun to learn though, like it was a blast to make that, and it's gonna be so funny to watch all of my family members take a bite and to see their reaction, because they weren't bad, but like the expectations, like if I show them that photo and you bite into it and you're expecting that photo, you're gonna be disappointed. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. Let me know which one you would like to try, or have you tried? Which of the 3 creations would you be brave enough to actually try of mine? They weren't bad. I didn't die. But I definitely won't be serving them on Valentine's Day. They are a one and done deal. So with all that being said, you guys, go and enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope something good happens to you. Bye!